Making my SIL leave after she came to help when I give birth to my third child. I, 31F, am about to give birth to our third child, due 2 days. My hub asked his sis to come, lives in a different city, and help take care of our other 2 kids while we go to have our baby when the time comes. I was appreciative of this when he told me she was coming, as this wasn't supposed to be long term. I assumed 2 to 3 weeks. Next thing I know, my hub is telling me she will be here for 3 months after we have already agreed she come up. I'm not very happy about this, as I don't want a full-time visitor for that long with our new BB. I voice my concerns, but we can't do anything about it now as she is already coming. She shows up and is great at first, but now her daughter, 12, who lives full-time in the same city as us with her dad, is also staying with us. This was never part of the agreement or plan at any point. So now our household has doubled chaos while we prep for BB, and while we are deep in renos, we only have one bathroom iron that is right next to our room, so every time someone comes up the stairs to use it, our dogs bark or someone gets woken up. This is ovs annoying woe the 2 extra people here, but on top of being woken up multiple times a night, now we have 2 school-aged lows trying to get ready in the AM, and this was never ran by me. My hub also told his sis that she will be taking over all school drop and pickups for our son, woe letting me know, I am Azam. They have been in constant talks over what she will be doing to help, and no one has asked me what I need. We, hub and I, end up getting in a big argument about it because our house is overcrowded now. I'm literally about to pop out a baby, and that seems to be everyone's least concern here. I'm stressed to the max. I'm overhosting, I can't find anything she puts away, we are all waiting for bathrooms, lack of sleep, and I'm being told I need help to do the jobs that I do every day just fine. The only help I agreed to was having her come watch our older kids, 3 and 8, while I was giving birth. The next day she completely avoids me and hides in the BSMT all afternoon, and only talks to him and our kids. So now, on top of all the stress, I'm being treated like the bad guy and now feeling even more awkward, and I'm being avoided. So I ask my hub about this, it ends in argument, and he calls his sis in to come talk, which I didn't want because now I'm the monster in the middle. She tells me, well, her thing is that she doesn't get to be a mom, so she's trying to do this now here with her daughter. SN, that she chooses to work out of town and could be here if she chose to be. I told her that right now that's not my problem, and my only concern right now is having this baby and being comfortable in my own home, as I didn't ask for any of this help. She said, well, if I don't want her help then she will leave TMR. I didn't argue her leaving. If she was so set on helping me, why did she run everything past my hub instead of asking me what I needed? Comment 1. Whoa. Your post is sure giving stressed. No one even needs to read the whole thing before giving you this advice. High blood pressure before you have a baby can be dangerous. You must find a way to chill for your own health. You need to calmly explain to your husband that you're worried about the impact of this stress on your blood pressure, which is getting high, and he needs to help create a peaceful environment for you. Tell him what you need. Then explain that you're not yourself right now, and you're at risk of burning bridges by saying hurtful things to his sister that you might not really mean. So for the sake of your health, the newborn, and his sister, he needs to figure out how to create a calm environment for you and fix this catastrophe himself. Comment 2. NTA, this is time where they should be asking you what you want, and instead they're adding to your stress. In your situation, being annoyed and letting people know they're making things worse is absolutely reasonable. I can't say if you communicated that the best way, but right now, I don't think you need to worry about it. Maybe in a year or so think back. Comment 3. NTA, but your husband is not very bright or intelligent. He needs to be a mature damn adult and discuss things appropriately with you and not make decisions for you. He is making you live in an environment that is very dangerous for your health and the baby's health. Don't have any more kids with this R. Why the hell would he think having your SIL there for 3 months be okay for you? You know why. It's because he doesn't want to pull his own weight, as he is the goddamn lazy one. Then he tries to gaslight you. You have a husband problem and you need to pull him into line and set boundaries. Story 2. Telling my co-worker to leave me alone after my baby shower? I, F31, am 32 weeks pregnant with mine and my husband's first child. I've been co-workers/friends with Claire, F36, since I joined the company 5 years ago. We've always been quite close, but I've been getting increasingly annoyed with her while I've been pregnant, and it all came to blows at my baby shower last week. For some backstory, Claire has struggled with fertility for years. She suffered from pregnancy loss a few years ago and tried IVF, but that failed, which led to her marriage ending. I was supportive throughout and tried to be there for her as much as I could. Everything was okay between us until Claire found out I was pregnant. From the moment she found out, she's become slightly obsessed. She touches my belly constantly, begging to feel the baby kick, and always asks how our baby is. I hate this and have made a point to say I don't like people touching my stomach apart from my husband. Claire in turn always tells people I don't like anyone touching my stomach apart from family, which she claims includes her. Edit: I told Claire and Hat I didn't like anyone but my husband touching my stomach. She chose to ignore it. There's been other issues, but the main issue rose when I had my baby shower last week. My mom and mother-in-law organized the whole thing, but apparently both were bombarded with message from Claire because she knew exactly what Op wanted. She kind of took over the shower and made sure she was sat next to me for the entire thing. While I was opening gifts, Claire burst into tears, saying how a lot of the gifts were items she would have been given at her own showers if she hadn't had her miscarriages. In the end, she had to be comforted by several guests. After the shower, I called her up and said that I think she needs to take a step back and I'm worried this is too much for her. Claire quickly fired back saying that she was fine and that the baby needed Auntie Claire. Finally, I'd had enough and said that I really needed her to back off as she wasn't family and I felt like I was being suffocated. Ever since then, numerous co-workers have said that I need to apologize to Claire and that I was in a hole for being so harsh with her. Edit: for those saying I should find a new job, I can't do that because of my maternity pay. I was promoted last year, so I'm quite high in our firm, and it would take a long time to start again from scratch at a new firm. I will talk to HR though if I continue to be hounded by co-workers. Further edit: if people could please stop saying she's going to steal my baby or cut it out of me, that would be great. It doesn't help during what is already a stressful time. In my country we have really high security in maternity wards regarding visitors, so no, Claire will not be able to steal my baby from the hospital. Yes, I have a Ring doorbell on my home, we've had it for years. No, Claire does not have a key to my house, no one apart from our parents does, and she has never been asked to babysit. The only people we'd ever asked to babysit are our parents or my husband's sister. Comment 1. NTA. And personally I would be visiting the HR department and explaining what is happening and how you are so uncomfortable about all of it, but specifically she should never be putting her hands on you. This woman sounds like she needs some serious therapy. Comment 2. NTA. Claire sounds like she's trying to deal with her own inability to have a child by essentially latching onto your child as hers. Sounds like she needs grief counseling. Comment 3. Am I the only one very alarmed by this behavior? Are you sure this woman isn't going to try and steal your baby? Because she sounds unhinged and like she feels entitled to your baby. Please get a Ring doorbell, change your locks if you haven't already, and make sure she can't access your home. I have read a lot of baby napping or attempted kidnapping stories that start off just like this. Please be careful. Story 3. Feud with deceased husband's ex. My husband and I were married for 12 years before he passed away. We have 2 kids together. He also has 2 kids from a previous relationship. When he passed away, his ex expressed wanting to keep things the same and have the kids spending time together. However, she meant the custody schedule, meaning I still have her kids 50% of the time. I missed my husband and was always close with my stepkids, so I agreed. 3 years have passed and his kids are 15 and 16 and I still want them in my life. However, I want to start forming my own habits, traditions and vacations without her input, such as vacations on her off time and not taking them, me not spending enough on birthdays, her asking me for money for their sports and interests. When I brought this up, she threw a fit, literally said I was abandoning them just like their dad and I'm showing my true colors, and clearly I never loved them like I said I did. I explained they can still come over and will still have their own rooms, but if I want to up and go to my parents that live hours away, I don't want to have to clear it with her anymore, because I also don't want them at my house unsupervised, not because I don't trust them, but because they're still young. She has literally hired a lawyer and is trying to establish that I agreed to a custody arrangement, and she wants child support since we always had more money. My husband had money set aside for his kids when we met, and when he died I sold assets that were his and split the dollar between all 4 kids. His life insurance was also split in 5 for all of us. The house was mine, so it was never written to be left to his kids. The estate lawyer set it up where they get money at a certain age, and she got monthly amount to help raise them. I don't believe I owe her more. Some people in our life are split, since it seems like I did agree to custody, but I was just trying to be a stable figure for them still. Am I wrong for wanting her to screw off and not wanting to give her anything? This whole thing seems ridiculous, but her lawyer is attacking me? I'm sure there's also so much I'm forgetting to mention, so I'll answer questions if needed. Comment 1. NTA: she's trying to make you share in the rearing and the bill for her kids because you were their step-parent? I don't think so, man. You're already being generous, a part of their life actively, and aren't trying to withhold the money and such left to them by their father. You don't owe anything more. I'm sure there must be something in the custody paperwork you signed, if you signed that with your husband, that discusses what should happen in the event of passing. I'm sorry you're having to struggle through this. It's not fair to you or any of these children. Comment 2. NTA: you are under no obligation to co-parent these kids. It's nice that you're do it for them and for your kids, but it's not custody. Their mom could take them from you at a moment's notice and never let you see them again, and there's nothing you could do about it. If you haven't already, I would get a lawyer to stop her from harassing you and to learn what your rights are. Comment 3. Her kids are the estate's problem, not yours. Other than you are probably the executrix of the estate. My question about the visitation is, what do the kids, both yours and hers, think about it? Do they want to visit with each other? In your story, you didn't mention their relationship and interaction. She's being way extra. There is no way that you owe these children support. The estate might, but you personally, no. And your personal income has nothing to do with the amount that the estate owes. As to the custody arrangement, you aren't their parent, you don't have an obligation to care for them as your husband did. It sounds like you probably need a lawyer. NTA. Story 4. Wanting to kick my dad and stepmom out of my house. My mother passed away when I was a teen and left her paid-off house we lived in my name. My dad was not active or present in my life, but ended up moving into my house with his GF, now wife, to take care of me because I was 16 to 17 and still in high school at the time. Fast forward 8 years, I am ready to live on my own. Went to undergrad, graduated 2 years ago and now work a stable job. My dad and stepmom have been keeping up the maintenance/paying utilities, no rent, since they moved in, and I am very appreciative and thankful for everything they have done for me and my house. I guess the problem is I feel like I am ready to take care of the house myself and live on my own in my own place. I suppose I would have to kick them out, right? I sort of brought this up to the both of them, and my dad basically said he felt like I used them to get to a point where I could take care of myself and kick them to the curb. And then asked if I would give him a percentage of whatever I may get from selling my house, if and when that time came. I didn't answer straight away and told them I would have to think on it. My stepmom was upset at my response and basically said I shouldn't have to think about it and to just give them the percentage because of everything they've sacrificed, moving into the house, paying utilities, property taxes, maintenance, etc., while I was in high school and college. Lastly, my dad suggested that we sell my house to buy a bigger house and add his name to the new mortgage. I am completely against this and he doesn't like that. I did not agree with his idea. I honestly don't feel like Ita because I'm starting to feel like my dad thinks I owe him for doing his job as a parent. I'm just ready to live on my own as an adult, but I feel like they were planning on staying in my house forever. Edit, I want to thank you all for your input. I'm in awe with your responses and I feel so much more confident in putting my foot down and voicing what I want. Being a 25F, I'm trying to find honest feedback without being taken advantage of because I clearly can't go to my family lol. With my uncle's situation, I was able to connect with a lawyer and are working out how to get some of it back. Learned he gambled my mom's savings that was left to me away. I would hate to resort back to getting a lawyer for my dad and stepmom, but I will keep you all updated with what happens. Comment 1. NTA, it's your house, you get to decide what to do with it, you did not use them in any way, what your dad did is just being a parent. Give him adequate time to find a home and kick him out if need be, that way if he is homeless afterwards it is on him for not saving up for a home. Comment 2. TA. My mortgage is about $1K/month, and I live in a cheap place. Your father lived in your house, rent-free, for years. He would have had to pay utilities wherever he lived, but likely he also would have had to pay for housing. He didn't. If I do some conservative math, he stayed with you for 6 years, at $1K/month, he has saved over $70,000 for staying in your house. You're being nice about it, this is your mother's home and it is in your name. I'd give them a couple weeks to be shitty about it before I started making an issue of it. But you are not in the wrong. Comment 3. NTA. You used them to get to the point you could take care of yourself. You mean he actually had to be a parent? What the hell? They have been living rent-free for years. They have taken complete advantage of you. Get rid of them, and if you sell, do not give them a dime. They have taken enough financial advantage of you and don't deserve a penny more.